I want to thank you all for getting back to us regarding the presentations we have been making regarding the posts. And it is based on the feedback that I want to look at a matter that kept coming up consistently. Because I always talk about embracing the crisis, and people have been asking, what does it mean to embrace a crisis? And so I want to take a little time to break it down in understandable patterns such that in your closet you can be able to practice it. I want you to know that crisis or setback is not a dead end but a delivery room. But many lose the baby because they cannot handle the contractions. You can imagine a situation whereby a woman carries the baby for 9 months and enters the delivery room and is unable to push. It's a very terrible place to be. And so when we talk about embracing a crisis, it means engaging with the crisis, looking at it from different perspectives, extracting power from it, and emerging from it with a purpose. Let me say that again. It entails engaging with the crisis, interacting with the crisis, not talking about it. Because the common thing is for people to talk about things they are going through. It is a normal thing. When you're in conversations with people, they will tell you, you don't know what I'm going through. Most people talk about it. But then I am talking about talking with the crisis, asking the crisis questions, engaging it as if it is an entity, as if it is a person standing before you. I've had a situation when somebody was having an issue and he said that he brought a chair and told the problem to sit down and began to talk with it. That is what I'm talking about, engaging with the crisis or the setback, extracting power from it and coming out of that conversation with a purpose. So I will briefly look at 5 transformational steps to help individuals, businesses, and organizations to do just that. The first step is facing it, acknowledging that there's a problem. You don't deny the storm, you define it. You can't conquer what you're unwilling to confront. So the first step is acknowledging that this is where I am right now. So you write out the crisis without sugarcoating it. Define the challenge in clear and exact terms so that your mind can be able to interact with it. Don't use bogus languages. Don't use languages that your mind cannot interpret. That's why I use the word. Don't sugarcoat it. This is what this thing is. What do I do about it? Ask exactly, what am I up against? What does this mean? Why does it really feel so big? And awareness is not weakness, but it is great wisdom. When you are aware of a particular thing, you will know how to begin to challenge it. Joseph acknowledged the betrayal by his brothers, acknowledged he was in the pit and in the prison, but never lost sight of the dream that God had shown him that he was going to be a leader. So the first point is to acknowledge it. Now, the second point is to flip it in your mind, change the lens, change the outcome, change the way you are seeing it. We understand that right now there's pressure. We understand that there are things that are standing before you, you don't know how to confront. Change the lens from which you are seeing it. Crisis is a mirror and a magnifier. It shows you what has broken and what is possible. So ask, what is the lesson in this? Ask, what if this thing is setting me up, not shutting me down? Because the default mode for most people is to conclude that it is shutting them down. Change the lens, see it from a different perspective. What if this thing is setting me up for something greater? And when you change your interpretation, you shift your trajectory. When you begin to see it from a positive light, you find out that your movement will begin to go in that positive light. Paul didn't just endure the prison. He wrote letters that still mentor nations till today. While in prison, he wrote epistles that we read today. We glean wisdom, knowledge, revelation knowledge from it, and it direct our steps. And so the third point is fight for clarity. Chaos can be a catalyst. The truth is that in crisis, the loudest voice wins. Make sure that the voice that wins is the voice of truth, not the voice of fear. The voice of fear gets magnified when you begin to look at it from a positive point of view over a long period of time. You need to understand that whatever you focus on magnifies. So make the truth, make that future that you're looking at the loudest voice. Strip away the noise. Spend time in stillness. Spend time in prayer and in strategic thinking. Now that you have agreed to look at it from a positive point of view, focus your mind. Begin to see the future. Begin to see the future. Identify what is one bold, clear step forward. Don't aim for perfection. Aim for progress with purpose. One step at a time. One step at a time. David didn't have all the answers, but he just moved forward towards Goliath with what he had. What did he have? He had a sling and some stones. So he began to move towards Goliath with what he had. So what we are saying is that you begin to take one step at a time based on what you have and where you are. The fourth step is to fortify your core. Anchor to truth. Anchor to your tribe. Anchor to your community. If you look back, you find out that when Daniel was confronted with a situation, he went back to his community. He went back to Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. When Peter and John were confronted with a challenge, they went back to their people and they gathered together and began to find solutions. They began to talk to the Lord about it. So the truth is that crisis exposes foundations. You need inner strength and outer support. And so you feed on the scriptures. You feed on truth-filled content. You feed on stories of people who have bounced up and used challenges as launch pads. Hebrews chapter 4 verse 19 tells us, we have this certain hope like a strong, unbreakable anchor, holding our souls to God himself. Our anchor of hope is fastened to the mercy seat in the heavenly realm beyond the sacred threshold, and where Jesus, our forerunner, has gone in before us. He is now and forever our royal priest, like Melchizedek. I read from the Passion Translation. So you anchor to the truth, anchor to your tribe. Surround yourself with people who fuel your faith, not your fear. Strength doesn't come from striving. Strength comes from anchoring. Jesus didn't isolate himself during his darkest hour. He called Peter, he called James, he called John, and they went with him to Gethsemane. So surround yourself with people of strength. And finally, forge the future. Forge the future. The same way a blacksmith has a product in mind and he sits down and begins to forge it. He begins down and begins to put materials together because he knows the future he is looking at. We're saying at this point that you forge the future. You rebuild with revelation, not with regret. You rebuild with revelation, not with regret. Based on the future you're seeing, begin to build with it. The truth is that every crisis births something, but it is only those who listen and act emerge with the blueprint. They are the ones that emerge as conquerors. Ask, what inside did this crisis give me? What must I now build? What must I now change? Or what must I now become? Capture the revelation. Turn it into strategy. Don't go back to normal. Build whatever existed. Build what never existed before. Noah didn't just survive the flood. He pioneered a future based on divine design. Crisis is not the end. It is the eruption before the elevation. You don't bounce up by escaping it. You bounce up by embracing it. So when I talk about embracing it, you receive it that this is the current situation. What do I make out of this? Because this is like a woman that is pregnant. There is something inside this, and I am supposed to give birth to something that will add value to the world. You embrace it. You rejoice over it. You thank God for it. You close your eyes and you begin to imagine a future. Imagine a future. Romans 8:28 says that all things work out together for good. you begin to see that good. You don't see negativity. You don't see destruction. You begin to see the good. The more you focus on the good, the more your heart receives it. You find out that something begins to change on the inside of you. And that is why 2 Corinthians 3:18 says, we all with an open face, beholding as in a mirror the glory of the Lord, we are transformed from one level to the other, even by the Spirit of God. So you are beholding that future. You are beholding that future. You are looking at it. You are looking at it. You carry that image before the Lord and you begin to thank Him. And whatever step you need to take based on where you are, begin to take the step one by one. And that's what I mean by when I tell you to embrace it. You don't escape it. David didn't run away from Goliath. He ran towards it. Run towards that future. Run towards that future. It will definitely break. Thank you and keep bouncing on.